Welcome back to Living Local. For many months, we have been talking with experts about the current seller's market in real estate, and today we are getting advice for homeowners who are actually ready to take those steps to sell. And so we are joined here today with Jill Sorrell in this segment, which is sponsored by Mel Foster Co. Jill, looking forward to hearing all of your advice, and thanks for being here.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Yes, it's so good to have you. So this is actually a very big decision as folks are looking to sell their home. It's not something that people take lightly, of course. How can a professional help guide them through that process as they are getting ready to list?
Well, first, they want to list with the Mel Foster agent. That way they're going to get the best representation. That agent's going to have all the paperwork that they need to get their house listed. And then also they're going to come up with a marketing plan as to how to put it on the market and the best way to get that house sold.
Okay, so it really comes down to that plan to help them have a successful list and then sell, of course.
Exactly.
Okay, awesome. So can you actually walk us through that selling process for those who maybe don't know what that looks like?
So they have a marketing strategy, and then also they're going to list it on the Mel Foster website. And Mel Foster is very big into internet marketing. Social media, very popular these days. And so they're going to have it so that they'll be 24/7 for out-of-town buyers or in-town buyers. Anybody can find that house. Look on the Mel Foster website, they're going to find it. And then with the social media and the marketing, and there'll be target campaigns that they'll have so for that listing. And then also if the seller has photos that they want to put on, they're welcome to put those photos on.
So do you help folks actually get that marketing across on the internet, or is that something that they are responsible for? How does that partnership usually work?
Well, Mel Foster is going to talk about the best form of marketing. Social media, like we talked about, is very good. So they're going to make a plan, and they're going to show you how we're going to market it. So you've got the Mel Foster website, we've got Realtor.com, and all the different ones that we're on. And then they're going to have the campaign that's going to put it on. And then as agents, I know for me, I go on Facebook and different ones, and I create a campaign. And so that the ones even locally will find it, then they tag their friends and things such as that, and that just helps to get it out there.
Mm-hmm. It helps to really just keep pushing that message like, hey, our house is for sale.
Exactly.
Somebody please come and give it a good home. So now what happens after somebody actually finds an interested buyer? Say they've had the marketing plan, somebody has expressed interest, they come, they visit. What does that usually look like then when someone is interested? How long does it take to finalize a sale?
Well, it kind of depends on loans. It can take 30 to 45 days. But the interesting thing is, so when they write that purchase agreement or that purchase offer and they're presenting it, we're going to help that buyer to get through that process, because selling your house, oh my goodness, it's not just like sign the paperwork. So there's negotiations and there's counter offers, and we're going to help that seller to navigate through that. Mm-hmm. Because once we have an agreement, then we have inspections that start, usually home inspections and different type of inspections. And the seller gets nervous. Oh my goodness, doesn't mean that their home is bad. It's just that now there's an in-depth look at their home. So we're going to help them to navigate through that. And then after that home inspection, if there's a few corrections that maybe need to be made, then what we're going to do is we're going to talk to the seller about it, explain it, and then when we come to an agreement, the seller and the buyer are going to sign right off. Then we have appraisal and different things like that that come into play. And that seller, they're still working. They still got their life going on. So we're handling that for them. That way they don't have to take off work or anything such as that. We're going to, when we get a request for, say, the appraisal, we're going to call that seller and say, hey, this is when the appraisal can be done. Does that work for you? Sure. They don't have to be there. A lot of times we just have a box on there, a lock box, like a Sentry box or something, and that appraiser can get in there, and then I got to think here, sorry. And so the appraiser will go in, and then we'll navigate through that, and then there's also underwriting and title work and things like that. So we're just helping that seller to navigate through that so that we can make it to the final when we have final approval, and then we get our paperwork together and we are on to closing.
So really guiding them through that process and all of
Exactly.
those steps. All right, awesome. I know that we have just really started to cover all of these things, but this has been extremely informative. So thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you.
Yes. Now, once again, this segment was sponsored by Mel Foster Co. For some more information, you can visit melfosterco.com, and you can also find that information posted over on our website, too, at ourquadcities.com.